Hi, good morning, everybody. It is a Monday. As Christine said, it is a You Matter, Move It, Miraculous Monday. And so I love when my team does videos, but this was kind of an impromptu video because sometimes I just have these thoughts that if I don't write them down or do a video, they get lost. They totally get lost in my head. What I want to share on this Monday is first, I want to say that I love all the posts that the engagement. And that was one of the requirements that I said in order for this to work. You really have to be really engaged. You have to post, you have to comment, you have to share photos. This being virtual, we need to see inside your life, right? Because again, when I click off, you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors, right? Which actually, I'm supposed to be starting school right now, and I decided to do a video. So that's why I said I had to make it quick. But you really don't. You have no idea what goes on. I'm actually sitting in my son's room, which is like weird because I'm never in here. And that's kind of part 2 of my video. I'm not in here, because he's 15 and he's usually like, get out, right? And others is usually it is a bomb in here. So we did some things over the weekend to make his life better, where he can be more efficient with his schoolwork and all that. But anyway, I'll kind of go into that for a second. But really taking a deep breath, understanding the process. I want to share something. A lot of you, we talk about maybe the cost of clean eating. We talk about sharing our photos and our prepping and planning, which are like, my heart beats out of excitement from that. But I'm going to tell you a really quick story. On Friday, I had an appointment. And so I sat in, I signed in, filled out the paperwork. I've never been in this office before. And so I quickly got called back. And as I go into the room, the nurse says, the assistant, she goes, okay, go in this room. So I didn't say anything to her, just hi, thank you, sure, where should I sit, whatever. And, I get nervous because this is the first time I'm meeting this physician in this practice. My wheels are turning in my head about myself, and I'm not saying anything. And so she asked me a couple questions, your routine questions, are you on a medication? She was just going through my chart and all that. And she said, as she was looking at my paperwork, she goes, wow, no medication? Wow, that's great. You look really good. And I get embarrassed, to be honest with you. I was just in a shorts, t-shirt, whatever. And I sit there and I'm like, I need to talk to the doctor, right? I'm in my own little head. And so I said, oh, thank you, And so she, which was odd, but it's not really odd because you never know what someone's going through. And she said, she stopped. And she looked at me and she said, look at this. And she pointed to herself. Now, mind you, she's the nurse ready for the doctor to prep me up for the doctor to come in. And she was not happy. She was looking at me, comparing herself. I was quite older than her. And she looked really depressed. And she said, I'm eating well. Because she said, I'm trying everything. And that's all I said was, I try every day. I have a great support team. I didn't say I was a coach. I didn't say I drink Shakeology. I didn't say I worked out and went to the gym. I just said I try every day and have a great support group. And my kids, at the age of my life, and I said, I'm in menopause, 6 years. I fight and battle every day and I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. And she stopped. She asked me another question about, the paperwork before the doctor came in. And then she said, but I go to the gym and I eat well. And I do have my sweets every so often. And she was like trying to justify why she felt that way. Now, I just told you that I'm supposed to be in class right now. And so what I've learned so far, that's kind of like those epiphany moments. I want you to understand this, that it isn't so much, it is about the foods that we're eating. It is about what your plate looks like, but that's secondary. And the reason being is because when I asked her, or I asked her some simple question, and it wasn't like elaborate or anything like that. I just asked her about how much time she takes care of herself. She said, well, I just started this job. I'm here a month. And I said, well, there you go. I said, anxiety, this is a new job for you. And I said, you have to make time for yourself. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm in a divorce and it's not going well. And my kids, I have one that's struggling and we fight between my ex-husband and I. And she was answering her own questions. It wasn't about the food. The food is secondary. You all have to understand that things that go on in your life, behind these cameras, behind videos, behind our posts, there's other things going on. So what I've learned about nutrition and about life is primary, and that's your relationships, whether it's your husband, spouse, significant other, coworkers, your children, your parents, whatever. Who are the main people in your life in those relationships? How strong are they? How much do you communicate with them? And do you get to really voice your opinion about yourself and your wants and your needs? Spirituality, we do talk about that on here, and we're not afraid to talk about that, and it shouldn't be a hush. You might see us quoting some verses and some things that really get us through motivation. If you're not spiritual, you don't have to be going to a specific, worship place. Do it in your own home if you have to. Take deep breaths and understand that you are here for a reason, and believe in that and trust in yourself. You have to understand, and this might sound strange coming from a clean eating group, but love what you do. I have some people that hate their job, but they're in a financial disaster in their house. It's a mess. And so they hate their job. So then their relationships with their spouse, it's negative. So what do? We go to the comfort, and we go to our refrigerator, and we go to the supermarket and just eat crap and buy those things because everything else is so out of balance. And then we don't move because we're tired, we're exhausted, we don't sleep well. So you have to understand the meat, right? Maybe it's the wrong word, but the chunk, the vital pieces of a clean eating start with the relationships and loving what you do, giving it everything, finishing well, giving back to yourself, spirituality, take deep breaths, say a mantra, meditate. I don't care if you don't even know how to meditate. Take 1 minute, close your eyes and take a deep breath and listen to your breath in and out, grounding yourself. Because then the second part is the food that you put in your plate that goes in your mouth. You'll understand that it all works. But don't be so critical about, oh God, I don't like fish, or I don't like chicken. Find out what you really don't like, or the things that are really struggling you, because then you'll be open to trying new things and trying new foods. So I just wanted to kind of give this motivational message across today, that sometimes people are looking forward to really find out what clean eating is, but it's really cleaning up the relationships in your life, cleaning up bad situations, cleaning up and supporting and knowing that our group here, there's a lot of women in here and men, we need each other because we don't have sometimes that outside support, and we don't have that spirituality or other things that go on in our life. So, and as the second part was, I'm sitting in my son's room because I've struggled with that with a 15-year-old where I'm like, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling sometimes. And I think there's no book today that says, okay, October, I don't know, what is it, the 19th on Monday, and this is what you're supposed to tell Andrew today. No, this is what you're supposed to guide him. No, we know that as parents. We have no idea sometimes. We can only do our best, but you have to take care of yourself. And so my husband and I used to come in this room and there was clothes everywhere. And all right, he's not neat, and he's a boy. But what we did was we moved some stuff out. We made it more conducive for him to love his room, to be better at what he's doing, and to kind of, yesterday I walked in after we cleaned it, and I was like, oh my God, it was like I could breathe in here. And I want him to feel the same way. So get out of your own way. Help yourself, plan, write down your goals, and love yourself, and start enjoying life. So there's my 10 minutes, and I have to go to school now. So enjoy Monday. Love you all. Bye now.